Good morning. We will call this Tuesday, June 7th, 2022, Douglas County Board of Commissioners legislative meeting to order. It is now 10 a.m. This morning, Board of Commissioners and the citizens of Douglas County, I would like to say welcome, and then, of course, I would certainly like to introduce our pastor of the day, Pastor Evans from Bright Star. He will render the invocation this morning. And then Board of Commissioners and also the citizens of Douglas County and our directors, please, if you would stand while the prayer is in motion, and of course we will follow with the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you so much, Pastor Evans, and welcome this morning, Pastor Evans from Bright Star.
Thank you, Madam Chairman, and good morning to everyone. Today we'll draw inspiration from Psalm chapter 35, verse 23, which tells us the steps of a good person are ordered by the Lord. This is the word of God for the people of God. Our thanks be to God. In today's scripture, the psalm writer reminds us that the position that we occupy is not by coincidence. The influence that we enjoy is not by chance. Our ability to positively impact people, places, and things is not a result of random assignment. Instead, where we are and what we are doing has been ordered by the Lord. Purpose has been imparted into our lives, and our position is a platform from which we can apply divine direction. God has ordered our steps and has made us more than elected officials and appointed community leaders. The Lord has called us to be resources who will remember the orphan, widow, and poor, the immigrant and foreigner, the overlooked and underserved. The Lord has empowered us to be leaders who will govern with integrity, compassion, and empathy. Leaders who rule not from our head, but also from our heart and soul, as we surrender to the Spirit of God. As we apply divine wisdom, insight, and direction, we become representatives of Christ who enrich the world and become a vessel that God uses to reach many. Considering this, let us pray. Gracious God, thank you for allowing us to occupy positions of influence that may positively impact your people. As we proceed with the business of the day, may our way reflect your way, our heart mirror your heart, and our dialogue be guided by integrity and compassion. May our decisions yield positive outcomes in the lives of the people that you called us to serve, and may your will prevail on earth as it is in heaven. We give thanks in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Again, thank you so much, Pastor Evans, and we appreciate your prayer. Certainly this is the day that the Lord has made, and Pastor Evans verified that the Lord has ordered our footsteps, and not only the Board of Commissioners' footsteps, but all the citizens of Douglas County footsteps to do the right thing. Board of Commissioners certainly would like to start with roll call. Certainly was just trying to buy a little time, but certainly I'll start with roll call this morning. District 1 Commissioner Henry Mitchell III. He's not here right at this moment. District 2 Commissioner and Vice Chairman Kelly Robinson.
Present, Madam Chair.
District 3 Commissioner Terinia Carthen.
Present.
District 4 Commissioner Ann Jones-Guider.
Present.
Ramona Jackson-Jones, Chairwoman, present. Board of Commissioners, we do have an established quorum. Board of Commissioners, I want to yield to the clerk before I call on the board. Once again, the clerk, do we have anyone who signed up for public comment this morning?
No, ma'am, we did not.
Okay. You want to scan the orders? I want to give the privilege if someone did want to speak. Just want to do that this morning, provide that privilege.
Yes, ma'am. If there are any citizens that would like to speak this morning.
Okay. What I want to do, I'm going to take the program just, or should I say the agenda, not the program, out of order a little bit. We have some, this morning the Board of Commissioners have the honor And also our executive team have some interns that we've allowed to embark upon government this summer so they can learn how it works. And not only that, just prepare their future as the youth are coming behind us. I do have our Assistant County Administrator, Tiffany Stewart-Stanley, who will introduce and prepare the introductions as they come forth. I would like to add that my intern is not here, so I'll be introducing him in subsequent meetings as they come forth, but not at this moment because he's out of town. You have the floor.
Thank you,
Assistant
Chairman
County
Jones, Board of
Administrator.
Commissioners. So I'm excited to be here today to present our 2022 Douglas County interns. This program, I think, was started about 3 or 4 years ago, and we've had an exciting group of interns that have come through Douglas County. They have gone on to do great things. We have one who's graduated from law school. We have another, our very own Tabria Cobb, who is our External Affairs Coordinator. She started off as Commissioner Mitchell's intern. So our interns learn a lot about our local government, and I really want to applaud the Board of Commissioners for having the foresight to bring this program to Douglas County and give our youth and our high school and college students the experience and the knowledge about our local government. So at this time, I'm going to allow our interns to introduce themselves. They will tell you their name, their what school they go to, and their area and their grade. So we'll get started.
Good morning. Oops, sorry. Thank you. Good morning. My name is Falasha Day Fashioned Thomas. I go to Agnes Scott College in Decatur. I'm a public health major and a senior. This summer, I will be interning with the Keep Douglas County Beautiful and Litter Prevention Initiative.
All right. Welcome.
Good morning, Board of Commissioners. My name is Monica Jimenez Fierro. This summer, I'll be interning with External Affairs, focusing on community engagement. I currently attend Eastern Connecticut State University and am majoring in criminology and sociology. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Michaela Tappan. I am a 2022 graduate from Loyola University, New Orleans, with a Bachelor's of Arts in English. And I am looking forward to interning with Vice Chair and District 2 Commissioner Kelly Robinson.
Right.
Good morning, Board of Commissioners. My name is Jaden Cobb, interning with Mr. Henry Mitchell, District 1 Commissioner. I am a student at Georgetown University studying government and computer science, and I'm from Douglasville. Thank you for having me.
All right.
Good morning, Board of Commissioners. I'm an intern with Commissioner Carthen in District 3. My name is Madison Pinkney, and I am a double major in both Spanish and Health and Community Wellness. And I am an upcoming sophomore at the University of West Georgia. Thank you.
All right, let's give our interns a hand. I'm just
Madam Chair, may I ask a question?
Yes, Commissioner Guida, you.
You notice I didn't have one. Tiffany, I don't know where the status is, but I donated my intern to the DA's office because theirs were not approved, so.
Thank you, and yes, your funding was
Have they
donated
hired
to them.
somebody yet?
I know that they have hired, I think it's some interns, and we will get them in here.
Okay, I
at
felt
some
like
point as
she
well.
needed them more than I did, so.
Well, yes, thank you. I'm sure she's very grateful. Thank you all so much.
Okay, thank you so much. And again, we will have another round of introductions within another few weeks because my intern has to be introduced as well. But I'd like to commend our interns for embarking upon this opportunity. And you, I know the Board of Commissioners are proud of, we are all proud of you, and we know that you will do great things. So this is the start of the beginning of your new beginning, because great things are coming down the pike for your future. So thank you for taking the time to just spend, 8 weeks with us? 8 weeks. This is going to be 8 weeks that would be life-changing for you, so thank you. Board of Commissioners, I would love to take a photograph. Thank you, Vice Chair. We would, it's not that many. Would you all come up on the stage with us, come up in the dais with us, please? Our interns, we would love to take a photograph with you. Again, thank you, interns, and we really appreciate you joining us this summer. Board of Commissioners, you have had an opportunity to review the minutes, and you have before you the commission meeting minutes of May 17th, 2022, the work session minutes of May 16, 2022, the executive session minutes of May 16, 2022, and the SDS and lost minutes of May 26, 2022. Are there any additions, deletions, or corrections that need to be made? Board of Commissioners?
No, ma'am.
Being none, the minutes stand approved. This morning, Board of Commissioners, we have the honor and the privilege and pleasure to indulge in listening to some proclamations being read and of course with our, to follow with our votes. We have tab number 5, which is proclaiming May 22 as Lupus Awareness Month in Douglas County. And we have our Mrs. Gloria Robinson here this morning, the mother of our District 2 Vice Chairman, Kelly Robinson's beautiful mother here this morning. How you doing, Ms. Robinson? So glad that you're here to read the Lupus Awareness Month proclamation. You have the floor.
Good morning, Madam Chair.
Good morning.
Board of Commissioners, Deputy Administrator Fred Perry, Attorney Michael Coleman, Assistant Deputy Tiffany Stewart Stanley. And I'd also like to say good morning to all of the other department heads and of course the citizens of Douglas. Lupus Awareness Month, May 2022. Whereas lupus is an acute and chronic lifelong autoimmune disease in which the immune system is unbalanced, causing inflammation and tissue damage to virtually every organ system in the body. And whereas at least 1.5 million Americans, including approximately 55,000 Georgians, are currently living with lupus. Lupus is a major health issue that has a significant impact on the economy of this state and takes in immeasurable physical, financial, and emotional toll on many families in Georgia. And whereas the effects of lupus on a family can be devastating in that it is a chronic, lifelong, and life-threatening disease, and despite its prevalence, it remains one of the most recognizable, least recognizable, and most misunderstood diseases, labeling lupus as the cruel mystery. And whereas lupus affects primarily young women in their crucial childbearing years, but it can also affect men, children, and women of all ages. And whereas the Lupus Foundation of America is the nation's leading nonprofit voluntary health organization dedicated to finding the causes and a cure for lupus while providing support and services to all people affected by lupus. 90% of every dollar raised by the chapter of the Lupus Foundation of America stays in Georgia to support the chapter's programs, and whereas the Lupus Foundation of America provides thousands of dollars of provides resources for thousands of patients and families, including support and information, physician referrals, public and professional education, and grassroots advocacy on the state and federal level. And whereas in 2014, Governor Nathan Deal established the Georgia Council on Lupus Education and Advocacy to investigate the level of education and awareness of lupus across the state. And whereas the council has developed a statewide action plan and established a multidisciplinary collaborative that will launch lupus initiatives to increase knowledge, educate healthcare providers, consumers, and legislators, address early diagnosis, access to care, and health disparities in lupus. Now therefore, the Douglas County Board of Commissioners commend the work of the Lupus Foundation of America and other organizations devoted to finding a cure for lupus and to supporting the individuals and families whose lives are affected by this autoimmune disease, and declare May 2022 as Lupus Awareness Month in Douglas County. So proclaimed this 7th day of June 2022. Dr. Ramona Jackson Jones, Chairman, Henry Mitchell, the 3rd District 1, Kelly G. Robinson, District 2, Terenia Carthen, District 3, and Ann Jones Guider, District 4. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Robinson, and well, let's give her a hand. Mrs. Robinson, if you could, if you would just remain at the podium as we vote on this proclamation that you brought forth to the board. Would you like to do that? Or if you want to sit, it's your privilege. Okay. You can stand if you would like and come back to the podium. Board of Commissioners certainly would like to thank Ms. Robinson for just validating that lupus is a misunderstood disease. And she is so correct. The early diagnosis is critical. And just the doctors, with my background being in healthcare, that's just one. We a lot of times just say no, unknown etiology means we don't know what to do for this particular disease. This disease is chronic. Chronic means lifelong, and it's also a threatening disease, and it attacks, as you mentioned, every organ in the body. So I really commend you for coming forward today to promote the need to continue to address the prevention, the early diagnosis, and all the above that's required to just address this disease that primarily attack women, but again, the men are not obsolete, or the children, but it's in women around those as you mentioned, childbearing age time. So thank you, Ms. Robinson, for coming forward.
I would like to say, if I may, that I do have lupus,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
I've had it since 1993, but I'm stable, and
Yes,
so
ma'am.
I'm doing well with it.
Let's give her another hand. Isn't that amazing? Board of Commissioners, you've heard the proclamation from Ms. Robinson. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
I had a choir stand, but that's right, it's a second. We have a motion and a second. Board of Commissioners, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Vice Chairman Robinson.
Very quick. Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Mother, for stepping up and bringing awareness to this. As the proclamation read, it was about 8 years ago, the prior administration, along with Governor during that time, began to bring lupus awareness to the forefront. And we had a proclamation right here in Citizens Hall then, begin awareness. We had a couple of other people from the citizenry that came and supported, and one of them is Mrs. Leslie Schofield at that time, a random everyday citizen. She is now a state rep, bringing what? Lupus awareness. She's in Boston right now, Madam Chair. She wanted me to extend, hello. But here's the thing about that, is that living with lupus, now I'm a son. Let's talk about family matters. Parents tend to cover children, like they don't share. I had to find out about through colleagues, my peers, like, what now? Bearing them up, showing compassion and empathy, as the pastor said earlier, for my peer set. But I'm like, Ma. And just being there and understanding and supporting, and I commend you, my right, you're doing it. You're living it. You give me inspiration for what I've got to go through, chronic, lifelong. You can do this, son. Yes, you too can, Ma. So we're going to do this together. Guys, y'all had to give me that moment. Thank you, Madam Chair, and I'm going to yield the floor.
Okay, thank you so much, Vice Chairman. Any other remarks? Okay. Being none, Board of Commissioners, please prepare to cast your votes. Board of Commissioners, we have a 5-0 unanimous vote, and the motion carries. So again, thank you so much, Mrs. Robinson, for coming in with this proclamation regarding lupus. Board of Commissioners, let's give her another hand. Really, that's, thank you. All right, Board of Commissioners.
Can we get a picture?
Oh, yes. I don't know why I'm just not in a photogenic mode this morning. Mrs. Brown, we'll come to you. No, you paid your dues. We're coming down to you. Come to the front, and then we'll come down. No, we don't want that. Yes, absolutely. All right, Board of Commissioners, we're going to move on to tab number 6, which is proclamation recognizing the Kiwanis Club of Douglas County's 50-year anniversary. Wow. All right, 50 years. We have with us this morning our own Elaine Stone, who is a member of the Kiwanis Club, but she's asked me to read it because I am a member as well, so I've been voluntold that I will read this proclamation, and I will, with honor. Board of Commissioners, it says the Kiwanis Club of Douglas County 50-year anniversary, whereas the Kiwanis Club of Douglas County was chartered on June 27th, 1972, and formed under the leadership of Ralph Hulsey and Bill King. The club became a part of Division 16 of the Georgia District of Kiwanis, and whereas the Kiwanis Club was an all-men's club until 1987, when Kiwanis International voted to allow women as members of Kiwanis. The first woman to join the club in Douglas County was Diane Etheridge, and the first woman to become president was Joanne Kelly in 1999 through 2000. And whereas the Kiwanis Club of Douglas County chartered their first Key Club at Douglas County High School in 1974. Today, the club sponsors 7 Key Clubs at the following high schools: Alexander High School, Chapel Hill High School, Douglas County High Schools, Harvester Christian Academy, Lithia Springs High School, New Manchester High School, and South Paulden High School. Each year, a scholarship is offered to a graduating senior from each club. And whereas the Kiwanis Club of Douglas County works to help various youth organizations throughout the county. Some of these organizations are Special Olympics, Boys and Girls Club, Boy Scouts, A Gift of Love, Share House, and many others. Each year, the club sponsors Kids Christmas Special, which serves 140 needy youth in elementary schools by providing Christmas gifts for them and their families. And whereas the club's major fundraiser each year is the Sweetwater Triathlon Duathlon and 5K Fun Run to raise money, which helps support local organizations and groups such as A Gift of Love, Backpack Program, Special Olympics, plus many other groups. And whereas the Kiwanis Club of Douglas County will be holding a 50-year celebration on July 29th, 2022. Now, therefore, the Douglas County Board of Commissioners does hereby call upon all residents of Douglas County to recognize the contributions of Kiwanis Club of Douglas County and celebrate its legacy for their continuous dedication to the families in our community as we proclaim July 27th, 2022 to become a celebration of the 50th anniversary of the Kiwanis Club of Douglas County. So proclaimed the 7th day of June 2022. Dr. Ramona Jackson Jones, Chairwoman, Henry Mitchell III, District 1, Kelly G. Robinson, District 2, Tarenia Carthen, District 3, and Ann Jones Guider, District 4. Board of Commissioners, you have heard the proclamation, and certainly I will start by saying that the Kiwanis Club is a voice here in Douglas County, and you just had a big event this past weekend, and I know it went extremely well, and they continue to move our county forward with energy, excitement, enthusiasm, and they are making sure that our students in the school system are rewarded accordingly for their good work and their efforts in attaining academics, and also not only related to academics, but in some of the sport areas as well. So we'd like to continue to applaud the Kiwanis Club here in Douglas County for 50 years, and would love for us, Board of Commissioners, and the citizens, and our directors to give them a hand. Really appreciate what you're doing. Board of Commissioners, you have heard the proclamation, and certainly I'll put us in mode, and you, when I ask if there's any questions or discussions, at that point you may weigh in if you would like. Board of Commissioners, do we have a motion to approve the proclamation for the Douglas County Kiwanis Club?
So moved.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second, Board. Any discussion?
Ma'am,
Okay, Commissioner Guider.
the Kiwanis Club is just one club that the Stones belong to. There's not an organization in this county that you will visit, from the chamber to any other organization, that they're not involved in. And I just commend them for being community leaders. Even though they're retired from the business world, they're very involved. And Mr. Stone used to be the principal, Douglas County High School. He's probably paddled a lot of these boys that's watching. So that was a different time, though, wasn't it, Mr. Stone? But I just want to commend them for their community service.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Let's give them a hand, because they really are the game changers for this county. Mr. and Mrs. Stone is in every room, and I'm telling you, you all really put me to shame some days. I said, I don't know where they get all this energy from. I'm right there trying to hold on, but thank you for what you do in the community. It does not go unnoticed. Okay, any other discussion, board? We have a motion and a second on the floor. We have a motion and a second. Please prepare to cast your votes. Board of Commissioners, we have a 5-0 unanimous vote and the motion carries. So congratulations on this proclamation for the Kiwanis Club of Douglas County 50-year anniversary, and we'll give you another hand. And we're going to come down and take a photograph. Mr. and Mrs. Stone, in your honor, we're going to come to you because I'm celebrating. Yes, you are. Yeah, we'll come to him. I didn't forget you. I'm going to acknowledge you as the president. He said, all right, again, thank you, and we celebrate our Kiwanis 50-year anniversary, and certainly wanted to acknowledge the Kiwanis Club president, who is part of Douglas County Sheriff's Office, Mr. Trent Wilson. So I didn't forget you. I want you to come forward so I can just say a few words, Trent. Just say something.
He's like,
Don't wave your hand. Come up.
He's like, I am gone, Chairman.
Just say hello. You know, I didn't forget you. I was just trying to get through the proclamation. We appreciate what you do here in Douglas County for the Kiwanis as the president. You serve as our president, so if you just say a few words, and that's all. I'm not going to put you on the spot.
Are you talking about being put on the spot?
Welcome to our world.
I know it, right? Welcome to your world. But thank you for the proclamation. It is a privilege and an honor to be a part of Kiwanis, just as a member, to work and give your service and back to the community. But to be asked by those that are you on the Kiwanis Club with to be the president, it was a blessing altogether. And we've been able to maintain and do what we do even during the pandemic. And one of the events that we take pride in, as you spoke of, and that's taking care of the children who are less fortunate, who probably wouldn't have a proper Christmas if it wasn't for the hard work that Kiwanis Club do. So thank you so much for the proclamation, and we will continue to serve Douglas County. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, Board of Commissioners, we're going to move right on to into our new business. Certainly, we have under our first new business, tab number 7, as reappointment of Tracy Crooks to the Douglas County Library Board effective July 1st, 2022. Do we have a motion to approve, Board?
Motion to approve Tracy Crooks.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? We have a motion and a second. Please prepare to cast your votes. We have a 5-0 unanimous vote, and the motion carries. Board of Commissioners, we're going to move to tab number 8, appointment to Vanessa Livingston to the Douglas County Animal Control Advisory Board effective immediately. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? We have a motion and a second. Please prepare to cast your votes. Well, we have, Board of Commissioners, we have a 5-0 unanimous vote, and the motion carries. We're going to move on to tab number 9, authorization for the chairman to execute an employee agreement with Tisha Carter as Human Resources Director. Board of Commissioners, do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Any discussion? And we do, I believe, do we have Ms. Carter with us today?
Yes, we do, Madam Chair. And Madam Chair, I just would like to say, I'll call Tisha to come up for just a second, that just in today's employment landscape, you know, the great resignation and all of those things, it's very hard to find good skill set. And I think that we beat those odds. We have a very well-qualified individual who's going to fill the role of Human Resources Director, and I won't steal her thunder. I'll let Tisha come up and kind of introduce herself, and we'll go from there. I know that Latifah Terry Bowles is extremely happy right now, and the rest of the staff in the Human Resources Department. So.
Good morning. Good morning, Madam Chair, Vice Chair, Commissioners, and County Administrators. I am delighted to be here today. I'd like to thank you publicly for giving me this opportunity, for trusting me to serve the citizens of Douglas County as well as the employees. I cannot wait to get started after I go on vacation. I cannot wait to get started serving and helping you all move Douglas County forward. Thank you.
Okay. All right, so any other discussion, Board? Okay.
Madam Chair,
You have the floor, Commissioner Carthen.
when is your start date?
July 5th.
Wonderful. Well, if this passes, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I yield, Madam Chair.
Okay, any other? Okay, we have no further discussions. Please prepare to cast your votes. Board of Commissioners, we have a 5-0 unanimous vote, and the motion carries. Congratulations, Ms. Carter. We look forward to you leading our Human Resources Department, so thank you so much. Okay, Vice Chairman Robinson. Ms. Carter, if you could come back to the podium, I have some questions for you.
No question, but it's more because I was on this selection. I was part of the interview process, me and Commissioner Mitchell, so I wanted to not make any comments until the board had a chance to have fully say what they want to say or ask any questions. But I want to say that going through this interview process, this is one of the better candidates. I mean, she was solid. I mean, you survived me and Commissioner Mitchell. We come from different angles and we're looking for different things, but she was very solid. You can tell that she's come out of a foundation, wherever her organization had brought her journey, like, woo. I mean, it was advanced. It understood talent development. Talk to us about talent development. That's all I want to give you a free platform, and you're thinking talent development is what sold me. Talk to me.
Talent development is essential because if you have employees that are qualified and we ensure that we pour into them, they will continue to grow the organization. I currently serve in Rockdale County, where we just finished a leadership retreat, which was a 3-day retreat where we poured into our leadership. We talked about diversity, equity, and inclusion. We talked about growing our own, which is our response to the Great Resignation. We read the book, The Secret, and we talked about the ability and the need to serve as leaders, not just be served, but actually serve and show that we care about our employees, our potential employees, and the citizens. And so quality customer service was another thing, and accountability. Leaders have to be accountable both to themselves as well as have mutual accountability with their peers and colleagues. And so that's something that we will hopefully get started here in Douglas County. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to read and learn and grow with you all.
Well stated. Thank you very much. Madam Chair, I yield the floor.
Okay,
Yes,
thank you.
ma'am.
Commissioner Guider, you have the floor.
Yeah, Commissioner Guider, forget me.
No, I didn't forget you, but it just slipped.
Ms. Carter, this is the first time I've met you, so welcome to Douglas County. Could you tell the people that are watching this broadcast and in the audience a little bit about yourself, where you come? Well, you said you came from Rockdale County, which is the opposite side of where we are to the west, to the east, there to the east of Atlanta. So how long were you with Rockdale County?
I actually hold a bachelor's degree in sociology, a master's degree in urban affairs with an emphasis on human resources management. I have directed programs both in mental health as well as served in both state government in Virginia as well as county government with Rockdale County, where I currently hold the position of Deputy Director for Talent Management, which is human resources, but where we focus on our talent, which is our employee, for about 5 years.
Yeah, okay. And are you married? Do you have children?
Yes, I'm sorry, I didn't know you wanted to know that. Yes, I am married. I've been married for 16 years. I have 2 amazing boys, 21 Jordan and 15 Jackson.
All right. Are they in college or?
Jordan
still in
is an entrepreneur and Jackson is a football star at Campbell High School.
All right. All right, with that, I yield back. Welcome to Douglas County.
Thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Carthen, see, I forgot her name too today. This is not, my brain is not firing on all cylinders. You have the floor, Commissioner Carthen.
Thank you so much. This is my
I'm
first
like-
time meeting you, but little birdie told me that you volunteer and are a part of some great organizations. Would you like to name those?
Absolutely. I am a proud member of the illustrious Sisterhood of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. I also volunteer with the Girl Scouts, Toastmasters International, and the list goes on. I just love giving back to the community as much as I can.
Thank you. With that, Madam Chair, I yield.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Carthen. Commissioner Mitchell, see, I got his name wrong.
Listen, I'm not going to take you through the task that you did with Vice Chairman and myself. Great job well done, and you kind of you checked all the boxes, did an excellent job as to what you want to bring to Douglas County, and I thank you for that. And kudos for at least accepting us, you know, because I think you were interviewing us as well. I mean, that's the interviewing process, and that's the highlight in this HR position that I think you do well and you thrive in excellence. So thank you again, and I appreciate you, and welcome aboard. Thank you.
All right, well, that's it, and thank you so much, and thank you so much. And we are just excited about your arrival. I've heard some good things, not through you, but through my counterpart, who Chairman Oz. Okay. He said you are just a jewel, and he is crying because you're leaving, but he wished us well. So thank you. We look forward to all the great things you'll do here in Douglas County, and we're proud. So thank you.
Thank you.
Keisha.
Thank you, Carter.
Let's give it. right, Board of Commissioners, we're going to move on to tab number 10, authorization for the chairman to execute an amended employment contracts in the Public Defender's Office for James Kiger, Allison Frutos, I'm hoping I'm saying that right, Taz, LaDonna Shoemaker, Bethany Casa, Christian Bonet, and Monica Miles. Board of Commissioners, do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, Board. Any discussion? We have a motion and a second. Please prepare to cast your votes. Board of Commissioners, we have a 5-0 unanimous vote, and the motion carries. All right, Board of Commissioners, that concludes our new business items. We're going to move right into the consent agenda, and please be mindful that all items are subject to final legal review. I'll start with tab number 11. Tab number 11 is approval of the revised grant match in the amount of $16,667 for the Violence Against Women's Act grant previously awarded in the amount of $50,000 to the Douglas County District Attorney's Office to be funded through the Department's 2022 budget, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents. Tab number 12 is authorization to accept a grant award from the Judicial Council of Georgia American Rescue Act, ARPA, in the amount of $236,068, and amend the budget and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents. Tab number 13, authorization to accept the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council FY23 grant award in the amount of $98,625, including a match amount of $11,835 for the Family Treatment Court, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents. Tab number 14 is authorization to accept the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council FY23 grant award in the amount of $71,617, including a match amount of $8,594 for the Chance Court, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents. Tab number 15, authorization for the Fire and EMS Department to accept funds from the Georgia Trauma Commission in the amount of $13,117, and amend the budget and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents. Tab number 16, authorization to execute a contract for Juvenile Programs Administration Department's Family Treatment Court to be a drug screening provider for the Douglas County Division of Family and Children's Services, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Tab number 17 is authorization to renew the contract with Transitions Commute Solutions for operations of the Connect Douglas Fixed Route Flex ADA Paratransit Bus Service, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Tab number 18 is authorization for the Connect Douglas to offer free fares for the months of June through August 2022, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents. Tab number 19 is authorization to approve Atlantic Coast Consulting Task Orders number 2022-1 groundwater monitoring and reporting services for the June event in the amount of $27,325. And then, of course, 2022-2 is remaining capacity report in the amount of $6,500, and 2022-3 groundwater monitoring and reporting services for December event in the amount of $20,080. And then a task force number 2022-4 and 2021-2022 annual stormwater reports in the amount of $6,000, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents. Tab number 20 is approval to award a maintenance contract with Russell Landscape pursuant to solicitation 2022-011 for maintenance of the landscaping of the I-20 interchanges at Thornton Road, Lee Road, Post Road, and Liberty Road in the amount of $244,415 to be funded from the DOT maintenance, other professional services, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Tab number 21 is approval of a contract with MCM Technology LLC to provide asset management software that tracks serialized assets that require continuous management and tracking in the amount of $18,360 to be funded through the E911's existing budget and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. And tab number 2022, for some reason, approval of the second quarter ARPA technology projects as recommended by the Technology Committee. Tab number 23 is approval to award a unit price contract pursuant to solicitation 22-016 to Martin Marietta to supply gravel materials for road maintenance and in-house construction projects as needed during the FY 2022 to be funded from the Public Works budget and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents. Tab number 24 is authorization to award solicitation 2022-009 professional services for an on-demand grant management to Landmark Consulting and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. And again, that solicitation number is 22-009. We got a lot of 22s this morning. And then I'm gonna move on to tab number 25. 25 is authorization for procurement to transition to an online bidding platform utilizing BidNet at no initial cost. Tab number 26 is authorization to award the FY 2022 patching, milling, resurfacing of various county roads, the LMIG SPLOST contract to C.W. Matthews Contracting Company, Inc., in the amount of $9,863,469.03 to be funded from the 2016 SPLOST funds and the general fund at in the amount of $2.8 million to be reimbursed by grant funds and or SPLOST funds, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents subject to final legal review. And finally, tab number 27 is an approval of a contract with Snyder Geospatial LLC, Q Public, in the total amount of $37,692, one-time setup cost of $16,560, at no annual cost of $21,132 for hosting and the maintenance of an online assessment notices to be funded through ARPA funds, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents. Board of Commissioners, that concludes our consent agenda. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Board of Commissioners, any discussion on
Yes,
any
ma'am.
items? Vice Chairman Robinson, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I've just got one, number 27, Director Valentine, come on down. Let's talk about roads.
I believe it's tab number 26.
26?
Mm-hmm.
You got me. Thank you.
No, that's okay.
You got this.
We in
Teamwork.
this, yep, we in this together.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioner.
Good morning.
Good morning. Director Valentine, can you just explain what this topic is, and that it's our normal, I'll let you go with that, and I'll ask my questions out of that. So what is this?
Yes, the resurfacing program usually is combined with the LMIG grant from GDOT. And initially, we had targeted about $6.1 million contract. The bid, however, came in much higher than that. And so essentially, there are about 25 miles of roads to be resurfaced, and the various funding sources that the board has identified will allow for us to award the contract and begin the work this year. Potentially, there could be some lingering into next year, depending on the weather. We're still hopeful that, as usual, we're able to get it completed by the end of the year, but that is not a certainty in this particular case. But it is a rather ambitious, robust program, close to $10 million worth of resurfacing 25 miles. So I'm glad that the board was able to identify the funding to be able to move forward. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Director Valentin. So let's, for the record, so this is one of the areas where appropriations, for the most part, all four commission districts, we try to evenly spread, plus or minus, plus or minus a couple miles, depends on what's within it. So this is one of those where we're very understanding, and I do appreciate the board's consideration. This is truly about, are we going to be conservative? You yield it in. You're going to be progressive? You let it out. This one represents a progression. Let's not slow down in this area, right? Why? What we've heard over the past 2 years, and especially last year, is that roads are important to citizens. Public safety, transportation, which is roads, economic development, et cetera, which is reflected in the transportation plan, our strategic plan from last year. So if that is a priority, it was important that the board heard what the citizens had said through their plan. They looked at this, but we came up short. So we had to dig a little bit deeper. We reached into the general fund. We are healthy. You don't spend your general fund on just anything, but this was important. And so thus the structure that we currently have. Now I'm going to make a point. So Miguel, we know this is 199 square miles in this county. And we know what? There's roughly 773 center miles. Is that about right?
704.
Let's make it 700. Easy math. 700 square miles. And we're doing how many right now? 25?
We're doing 25.
So 25, 10 million. Somebody do the math real quick, how much it's going to take to do all these streets?
200 million.
200 million. 200 million. Now, we a normal research. How often, Miguel, should we be on a normal cycle, sir, as far as resurfacing?
You ought to be doing resurfacing every year, and really based on the last analysis,
yes, sir.
We were at minimum at $8 million per year to be able to cycle through the roads within a 20-year period.
20 years. All right, so 20 years for those. All right, so this is for, thank you for the date, and I'll finish up with my comment. But primarily what I noticed, living here since 1990, my entire adult life, before Publix was built, before the mall was built, I've lived in Douglas County. And I've watched it evolve over time, and I've watched all the communities come online. Probably not the ones out west, but primarily the ones on the east side. All right, everything that came out of District 2. And those subdivisions have not been resurfaced in all those years. The one I lived in, Mount Vernon, 1993, not resurfaced. Now, we're constantly putting money out on the main collectors, the main roads and stuff. I mean, we see it, we get it, but, it's that curb appeal. You know those HOAs, and they want to make sure that you comply, you conform to the covenant. Right, but can we do our part? And I heard that from our citizens. So this year, I decided to break rank, or at least advocate for my district. So Brookmont and Mount Vernon and Graythorne are going to be entirely resurfaced. Think about it. We can continue to let the money go directly out there for the main roads, people who pass by, who don't even live here to pay the property taxes, as y'all say. Tenant roads, yeah, we got sales tax and all that. But what about those, wait a minute, what about us? It was that sensitivity. And so I hope that this goes forth as part of the consent, because that was important. That's something that I advocated for. Subdivision resurfacing. So when they come into when they plot their driveway, can they experience their tax dollars? Not up there on the main street that's being torn up by trucks, buses, everything else. We'll take it. But what about the subdivision where the property tax really hits? And that was important. So to get to the rest of them, now, Miguel, how many subdivisions do we have? I think I read the report. I'm the one that created it. There's 900 subdivisions within this county. 900. About 250 each. I just did 3. We may not get there without a reappropriation, a more intentional focus on how y'all gonna do this? A SPLOST only allows us to get about 150 million. It's gonna take 200 million just for roads. This is a long play, guys. It may take us, what, 4, 5-year cycles? To his point, it may take us another 20 years to get to you. Depends on how roads are. But this is important for you all to hear. What is our board up to? How do we all make decisions? I just wanted to highlight that we all come together. Everybody takes a position. They advocate for what they want to, and whatever comes out, it becomes the will of the board. But I wanted to highlight that there are degrees. There is no one way. There are permutations. Everybody's voice can be heard. And I wanted to show how like it all coexisted. But for my vote for this, my subdivisions were important to citizens. And so for that, Madam Chair, I yield back.
All right, thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Vice Chair. Commissioner Guido.
Miguel,
Yes, Commissioner.
I was on this board years ago when we bought equipment to do subdivisions. Where is that equipment now?
It is still with the county.
Do we use it to pave subdivisions?
Certainly over the years we have, yes.
But
And it
we've
is
stopped.
available to do that.
We've stopped doing that in past few years, I think.
There has been a lot less paving done by the county. It has mostly been contracted out. However, there is the capability for the county to do paving of roads, whether they be subdivision or partial segments of roads.
Yeah.
With the existing equipment, it is still, to my knowledge, operable and available.
Paid a lot of money for it, I know that. But my district covers about 1/3 of the road miles in this county. And I have more of the through roads that Commissioner Robinson was talking about. The through roads are the arteries that go to subdivisions. A lot more traffic, heavier traffic, such as trucks. We've done some of alleviating that in our last meeting, the heavy trucks, because our county roads are not built for heavy trucks. But they, anyway, because of the volume of the commuters and going to I-20 or 166, whatever, they get a lot of volume. So they tear up faster. It costs more to do those than the subdivisions. I would like for your department to look, revisit the use of the equipment that we bought to do subdivisions so that we can spread the paving out more. I only get 1/4 of the allocation for paving, even though my district covers 1/3 of the county roads. So I would like to see you revisit that and see, is it a personnel problem? Or it's not, you just stated it's not the equipment problem. We do have the equipment, but is it a personnel shortage?
Yes, Commissioner, if I may address your question. There are a number of components. Personnel, getting qualified personnel has been a challenge for the department. Of course, currently that function is under Public Works, no longer under my purview.
Yeah,
but
I
nonetheless,
forgot.
they're in the audience, and so they're hearing your plea. But nonetheless, certainly it takes a number of personnel to be able to operate a paving operation.
Sure.
And so whenever you fall below that threshold, everything comes to a standstill because you have to operate out in the roadway safely with enough people,
I understand.
personnel, et cetera. So they have other things, and I perhaps shouldn't be speaking for them, but I'm familiar with their operation enough to say that they do other things than paving. So certainly their efforts have been diverted from time to time, perhaps often quite a bit of the time, to other endeavors than paving. So there's no question that they're capable. They have the skill set. They have the equipment to do the work. but if they're assigned to do something else, then there aren't enough of them to be able to do the paving wholesale like a contractor would, and also do the other duties as well.
And I understand that, but they probably spend a lot of time doing potholes because we have an awful lot of potholes. But if we paved it, especially in the subdivisions, you wouldn't have to go back and patch. So there's a cost offset too. But you're referring to is it Director Heath Cowart? And you hear what I say. I would just like to see y'all look at it and study over it, because I know a lot of counties do their own small paving. The roads are not as wide in a subdivision as they are on an artery road, and you don't have people running off the road making ruts like the trucks do on the arteries, or breaking the pavement and everything. I just wanted to make that comment because I thought we still had that equipment, but I wasn't sure.
We do.
But didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I just remembered that we do have the capability, and we were doing a pretty good job with that, because we did all this in-house. We did in-house subdivisions, and then we contracted out to contractors for the longer roads. So, okay, I appreciate your input. And with that, I yield back. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Okay.
Yes. And not for you, Miguel, you've done well. I'm done, yeah.
Yeah, he's, sure. Thank you,
Okay.
Director Valentine.
So, could I get our procurement director to come up and speak on behalf of item number 25? And all the great things that she's doing, and we're just so proud of you, so, if you would, please.
Good morning.
Good morning. We so proud. Good morning.
Thank you.
If you would, please. And I've got just a question or two about that particular item, but so you can share with the public kind of what we shared yesterday at the work session on this particular item, if you would, please.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, Madam Chair and Board of Commissioners, residents of Douglas County, and the general public. My name is LaTanya Ammons. I'm Director of Procurement. I started with Douglas County on February 1 of this particular year. I walked into the office and I had about 6 red folders with solicitations that needed to go out ASAP. I met with Heath, and they gave me a list of approximately 10 more. So I'm here to solicit the board's approval to shift from a paper solicitation process to an online one. As you can see my office now, it is a complete mess with piles of different solicitations. I implore you to move to this particular solution because, number one, it keeps us all on track and it keeps us honest. From a vendor perspective, vendors do not have to run up to Douglas County whatever day the bid closes to make sure that their bid package is stamped. Then they take a picture of that stamp to prove that it was submitted by a particular time. From a vendor perspective, they'll be notified immediately of changes to a bid. All the documentation is in one place. Currently, bid submissions come in. I had, for the grant management one that is on the agenda for the vote, we had 9 solicitations, 9 different packages, 9 different notebooks. They're all piled in my office. So an online solicitation that I am proposing is for a company called BitNet. Initially, the basic model to get us started tomorrow is free. Currently, the following counties and cities use BitNet, and I just did Metro Atlanta. That would be Cobb, Fulton, Clayton, Douglas, City of Douglasville, City of Milton, and City of Johns Creek. I did look at other bid solutions, and theirs was more expensive and just had a cost, and I felt that BitNet would get us exactly what we need. From a procurement perspective, I am able to post a bid, post a solicitation. It goes out to all of the actual vendors that have registered. Registration is free for the vendors, and then they are able to respond in the system. And so when they respond, it is without prejudice from a perspective of packaging, okay? I have a bid that we opened up for another solicitation. It was very pretty. And so sometimes when you have the difference with the bid solicitations, we're all human, we maybe take a look at the solicitation and the package, and we don't focus on the content of what they are actually submitting. Now, for an internal perspective, when the bids come in, I'm able to download the actual documentation, and I can forward it electronically to the evaluation team, because now the evaluation team comes and picks up all of those notebooks, all of those packages, and takes them away. And so I asked, and in an effort to move us forward, and in an effort to have standardization across the procurement department, that we move to an online bidding system. And then finally, from an audit perspective, it is there. Vendors are not able to submit a submission after the bid closes. There is a deadline. So we will always have a trail. In addition, this will cut down on the amount of, I guess, lack of information, and from a timing perspective. When vendors have questions, they send an email and it goes into the box, then it's forwarded to me, and then it gets buried. And just because of the normal day-to-day of our job responsibilities, we sometimes miss that. But in the bid system, they can submit the question in the bid, and I can respond at any time, day or night, and it's one place for everyone. And so I ask that you all approve this particular item on the agenda today, and help us again move forward to have some consistency. Thank you very much.
Okay, and so let me just add though, that's why I preference this, all the great work that you're doing is because of all what you just stated, with all the paper that you got there. So I think that's a great step in the right direction. So continuing that thought process, what happens to those that, and I know this may be a little bit of a curveball.
Right.
Everybody is not online, as we all know. For those mom and pop / small businesses who just haven't gotten to that paperless, how would you navigate that to be inclusive? But I'm with you on the paperless layout. I think that's the ideal way to go. But I don't want to miss out on that small business or that other business that may or may not be just online and looking for that bid or looking for that opportunity. So help me with just that.
Okay, so it's a two-part, I think I have a two-part answer. Number one, all of the bids will still, that information will be posted on the Douglas County website. And so they will be able to see that the bids are posted. So unfortunately, if someone is not online today, then this particular methodology of posting solicitations, they wouldn't be up to that anyway. So number one, we have the information that's on the Douglas County website for them to post. Now, for those vendors who they see it, but they aren't able to respond, then I would implore them to call my office, because it's twofold when we're trying to do business and moving business forward. I would ask a business in 2022 if they do not have an online presence, sometimes depending on the line of business, right? Can they handle the actual job of doing business with the county? Again, it depends on the actual services or products that they are going to provide for the county, right? So it's easy sometimes, that's why we do not evaluate bids a lot of times just on price. Just because I'm low does not mean I'm the best and I can provide the quality or the services that are needed to not only provide a quality product, but yet just to move us forward. And so for those vendors, we will have a conversation, and that can be something that we can develop as a procurement office on not just how to do business with Douglas County, but how to grow your business and move forward so you aren't left behind because you are a mom and pop organization, right? How do we work with counties and cities and moving forward? Because we do realize that some people just aren't there yet. And so that is something that I am willing to work with for citizens who want to do business. It's not always not about the ones you see on the billboard. I'm a true believer in small business. They really are the fabric of America. And so my office is definitely willing to work with them.
And thank you for making that statement, because I just know there are some who are not there yet when we speak online. However, at least you're thinking along that line as to those that are not there,
Yes.
How do we get them there,
Mhm.
get along? How do they continue to do business with Douglas County? And you're right, it depends upon the project.
Mhm.
It depends upon kind of what we're asking for in the RFP, RFQ, and whatever all that may be though. So, but my other question, so will BidNet be writing some kind of a program that will be kind of tailored toward what we do? Or is it something that's already there that we're gonna kind of fit within the program that already exists?
So BidNet has, if one can consider it, our off-the-shelf product, right? And so we will have a main landing page that has Douglas County on it, but they are there really to serve us. So all of the writings behind the bids is the property of Douglas County. We will own and maintain all of the information. So if we move away from BidNet, that's still, we own it, and so it is cloud-based, it can be accessed anywhere. So they aren't providing necessarily any language, anything can be sheltered. So if I ask a question in solicitation is one that I wrote, if it's a contract draft that is in a solicitation is one that we wrote and it was approved by our county attorney. And so they're just really there to help with, they just have like the program to say, hey, you can put it here. What I do like is they already have vendors, what's called a purchasing group, that may or may not even be aware of some of the business that Douglas County is doing. So this is an opportunity for us to cast a wider net. And then I would also like to state for the record that because of Georgia law, all bids, all public work bids valued over $100,000 will still be posted on the Georgia Procurement Registry. But as a practice in my office, I post everything on the Georgia Procurement Registry. Again, that allows for transparency of what we're doing in Douglas County, and it casts a wider net just for those individuals who aren't looking to do, who aren't currently business providers in Douglas County.
Great job. And again, thank you. I thank you for at least coming and sharing with not only with this board, but with the general public. So again, I think this is the right step in the right direction, just as long as we don't forget about those who are not quite there yet. And make sure that we continue to reach out and cast a wider net, but to the net of those that maybe not within reach, that we don't leave them out or don't forget about them. That's that small guy who just happened to not be online. So thank you again, I appreciate it. And any other comments?
No.
Okay,
Thank you all very much.
Thank you again, and I
You're
appreciate
good,
it. And Madam
thanks.
Chair, on that note, I'll yield. Thank you again.
Okay.
Thank you.
Director
Chair?
Ingmans, I have a question for you. Can I just
Not
ask
for
this
her.
question? I just have
I
one.
hear you're doing a good job then.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. I love the idea of, we initially met when, our first day, you came into the office, certainly, and you were surrounded in documents, and you've done a stellar job on making sure you reduced the amount of paperwork we have. But Commissioner Mitchell just kind of raised my awareness a little bit. I'm thinking about folks like my mother and others who are business owners, and that will you have a bifurcated process for just a moment to allow those who are not 21st century to kind of wean into your process rather than just turning the light switch off. I appreciate what Commissioner Carthen, who's the chairman of Purchasing Oversight, she's amazing with technology. I love it. But I'm just, you got those who are just still on the edge or on the ledge that we got to talk off. So will they be able to still submit paper application, those that's just afraid, and then, the others that want to use BidNet, or everybody have to use BidNet primarily, period? Is that what you're asking? Or will we have a data entry team that will help them with their applications? I'm just asking.
I like the last one. and I tell you why. Again, I am a proponent for small business. I do like the idea of having a team to help those, right? We do that in the, I'll take note from the great sorority of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. When we moved to a technology platform, and I'm not speaking on behalf of the organization, please. I'm not speaking on behalf of them, but one of the things we did realize is when we moved to online is that we did help those, right? We did help. And so the procurement department will help those who cannot, depending on the line of business, because some businesses is a lot smaller, it's a lot easier to just kind of help and facilitate. Now, I will take an example, janitorial, right? We have some locations that are smaller, need janitorial help. Something like that would not go out to bid. And for the public, bids over $50,000 must go out to bid. So if we're talking about something small as janitorial, a small location, that is something that we can work with the public. We still want to notify people, but if it's, you know, one location, we need you to clean once or twice a week, then we go through a quote system. So again, our small businesses, those that may fall in line, which is having a smaller blueprint, then we do have guidelines where we can reach out to you and you can call my office and let us know that you are interested in doing business. We still are going to have the normal vendor guidelines when someone can still submit an application to become a vendor, and I'm developing that to make it a little more robust. So when someone calls and asks me about a particular vendor in a particular line of business, then we have the data to actually just say, hey, I have identified these 5 vendors. So continue to do business as normal, continue to submit the vendor applications, and also continue to reach my office at DC Purchasing at douglascountyga.gov.
Okay. Thank you for
Thank you.
responding to my question. Commissioner Gaddis, do you have a question for?
I wanted to call 2 other people up.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, thank you so much. You have a question? Okay. Commissioner Roberts, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Good.
You got to get in my ear.
May I?
Yes, you have the floor. I didn't hear you.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. All right, so, no, thank you, the procurement officer. Yes,
Thank you.
we just did what our 6th annual, right before you came in February, 6th annual doing business with Douglas, in Douglas, round Douglas, for Douglas, through Douglas.
Yes.
Every year was a different thing. And I'm encouraged, and I guess I'll join with the, I'm glad you're here. Because we lacked, we now have leadership that will take on just what you said, right? So, because context, people didn't have opportunities. It's about balancing out opportunities, right? That was key. But if the mindset is closed in procurement, if it's not being facilitated, then me creating this atmosphere, it's the same old, same old. If we don't have the technology there to help move it along, then it's all that paper, and it gets selective. And I'm listening to you. 50,000, all right. Right, what should come before the board and what can be given an opportunity for just the one-offs. Thank you for saying that. I'm just making my point. So thank you for being here, because procurement is key. Now, out of all, I know it's about, what, 30 directors, part of general government, she has a fiduciary trust responsibility. It's procurement. It's got a little bit more extra to it. Like, all right, and she understands that. Yes, create that atmosphere, but don't break rank. Hold it. That's key. It's got to be solid. I get it, but please don't err on the side. Well, I'm trying. Like, no. I need to keep that thing clean. Keep it moving. Hold that standard, which is my point. We made a comment earlier about standards. Those who can, who can't. Back to the in-house. Like, no, I need you to be commercial grade to come to my community. I can cut your grass. I can go out there and throw down some. But is it going to be to the standard that is expected? I look at my citizens and I like, no, I can't let y'all be an afterthought. Y'all go out there and see if we can, cut the grass. Like, no. It's about the standard. Like, and I appreciate you coming. Like, no, hold this standard. Yes, Madam Chair. Yeah, we'll hope to hold everybody's hand. But everybody else, there's a standard. I don't need brother man going out there and trying to do my people. No. It's like, no, and I want my citizens like, do y'all hear this narrative? No way. You're not less than. That we'll get to you. Y'all going out there and see if y'all can figure this out. Research that. Like, no. $1 is $1. I need to hold this. All right, I'm going to shift gears. I want to talk about what, number 27, is it? Stay there. Let's talk about Landmark.
Oh, no, that's 24.
24? 24. All right, so somebody come speak to what that one's about. Who's here? Come on down.
Tiffany Stewart
Tiffany,
Stanley.
Madam ACA, come on down.
Okay.
So, good morning again.
Good morning.
So, I'll give a little history. So, back last year, as part of the Strategic Plan Initiative, one of the things that we decided to do was to put into place a grant infrastructure for Douglas County. And one of the things was to, of course, bring on a grant management oversight office but also to provide that person with the team that they needed in order to succeed. So Jill Hobson.
Jill, come on up, please.
Come on down.
Take your spotlight.
And so we, yes. And so what we did was we kind of came up with a strategy to implement the grant infrastructure program. And I have to say that Jill Hobson has done an amazing job at implementing that strategy. And one of the things that we decided to do was to go out for a grant administrator to be part of the team and assist with the grant infrastructure process. And so we went through the procurement process, and Landmark Consulting was the firm that we decided to go with.
Okay, so, and Ms. Director Hopkins, you want to
Hi.
speak a little bit more, just add to it, just like yesterday.
The grant administrator will be a crucial part, especially for ARPA funding and some of those bigger projects. I'm a person of one. I can't manage every grant in the county, and for small level grants, the departments are doing a fantastic job, but with all the money coming down from the federal government, we need some help. We need a way to capture everything, create that data that's so important, and we've got to have help. And with that grant administration, we will get it. I have been working very hard on the portfolio that you have requested. However, I don't have a way to present that with no software. So having this come on board will help me tremendously.
Great. So support services, there's a technological platform that will help you aggregate data. And at the end of the day, it's all about data. I'm big on this sort of what they call institutional grade, right? Federal, state, and local. Those are different standards. The federal is a federal standard. My mother worked for the Department of Education, retired, contract monitor, know who made me. This is important so y'all get where I'm coming from. That's all I've known. As she traveled as a latchkey kid, and as she goes around Chicago and Washington and San Francisco, all right? So this is my mindset. This is what I was shaped by. I need a single view. It is a standard. Federal, back to roads, it's a standard. Consistency. Now we got lesser, like, yeah, you can do maybe a little Pumpkin Town Park and go out there in the backyard and do, but there's a standard. No tease, I'm okay. There's a standard. And I'm dead serious about this because at the end of the day, we got to be accountable for this. We've had problems in times past, and this is the problem. Yes, we gave 6 years to see what was going to be done. 6 years. Our job is oversight. And we just monitor. And we monitor. Yeah, we put money over here. I want to see what y'all going to do. It's 6 years later. I mean, I've seen pictures of subdivisions like, okay, that ain't gonna work. I've seen reports from auditors that says, ooh, look, it's about execution. Our job every now and then is to correct. You cannot just, you can't just give everybody an A. No, everybody cannot get an A, but we all can move forward. We all can upgrade our performance. We all can get better. But the narrative that says that, okay, we won't hold ourselves to the higher standard. If we're held, you're held. It's about execution. So, all right, so you've got this landmark. It's coming online, and now you will have the capacity. And then at some point, I'll get a single view of everything. You'll be able to get out reports, tell us how much money we spending. Yes or no?
Yes, and I just want
Burn rate, like monthly, daily.
Right.
Is somebody here from them to talk about what they're bringing to the table? Is Landmark here?
I don't see anyone here.
That's okay.
But I will tell you, so when we started the process of putting the grant implementation, we do have an implementation schedule.
Right.
And it started by December 31st, we had to hire the grant oversight manager. By February 28th, she had to complete a review of all the grants. March 31st, she had to meet with all the department heads. By April 20th, there had to be a grants coordination team implemented, which is headed by Jill Hobson, as she's assisted by our Intergovernmental Affairs Manager, Dr. Michelle Allen. We have created a grants policy and procedures that will come before the board relatively shortly. And then, of course, we're at the point now where we're procuring our grant administrator. So there's a 6-month plan, And then, so hopefully around September, October, we can come before the board with that single view and show you how we have implemented the plan.
So we can keep up, we also can use that data to leverage other opportunities coming down. We want to be above reproach. We know that this, we've already acknowledged, see, sometimes like, it's okay to acknowledge, we know we weren't that good, we never were held to that standard, but this is too much money coming down, and Congress ain't playing. They not, and they got a long arm, they're like, we'll catch you. They give you trust that, okay, and if something comes up and they say, oh, y'all messed up that transportation center, somebody gets out there and throws it up to the feds, y'all know how y'all do here. You threw it up to the feds, and there's like, they come like, okay, what now? And we're busted. The whole point was to self-report, right? So this is about like, no, guys, this is like, we're with you. We're giving you resources, right? We're giving you people, right? But what'd you do with it 6 years ago? What happened? That's my point. Like, you think we're just sitting here? We're watching performance. We're getting feedback from the citizens. We're like, okay, that's an interesting subdivision. Oh, that's an interesting, like, so there's a reason for this. This is really intentional. We do know what we're doing as a collective board, and I love all their input. So I've made my point. You guys, you've done well, and I look forward to the vote on this consent agenda. Madam Chair, I'm going to yield. Thanks,
Madam
ladies.
Chair. Okay, thank you. All right. Commissioner Carthen?
So I just want to say thank you for stepping up. I know we went after you, and you was like, no. But I had faith in you, so I appreciate you finally saying yes. I knew you could do the job, Jill. I knew you had it in you. And with what Director Stanley had already talked to me about, I'm just glad this is coming to fruition. So I just wanted to publicly say thank you.
Thank you.
I yield, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments, board? All right, thank you.
Madam Chair.
All right, well, Commissioner Guider, you have the floor.
No, Tiffany. I'd like to call Director Roberts up here and Chief Appraiser Benefit up here.
Chief, okay. Balfour?
Balfour, I don't have a list. We have too many people.
You are we about names this morning.
Bring them on down.
Okay.
Good morning, Director Roberts of Transportation.
Good morning.
Yes, ma'am.
Yesterday at the work session, I made the statement that nothing was free. When you were saying this is about item number 18.
Yes, ma'am.
Authorization for Connect Douglas to offer free fares for the months of June to August. And as I said, nothing's free. This is a user fee. But I have confidence in you. You are new on the job. You're the first new man on the job. You've inherited a pretty big job, pretty big mess, I would say. But anyway, I'm going to go along with you on this because I have the confidence in you.
Oh,
I know you're going to fix it. You're going to fix it. But I just wanted the people to see who is now in charge of Connect Douglas, the buses and everything. And I think you'll see some great improvements. And thank you for taking on this job, really. Thank you.
I appreciate your confidence and the rest of the commissioners' confidence as well. And I think it's a great program to work on. I'm excited about it. And we will be rolling out a lot of stuff. You'll see a lot of Connect Douglas. And it's, to Madam Chair's point yesterday, I was calling a play. And this was the play that made sense to me. So I appreciate your confidence, and we'll keep you informed on what we bring back through the Transportation Subcommittee.
Okay, thank you. Now, Chief Appraiser, I want you to talk about item number 27, about how people will be able to appeal their assessments. But before you get into that, could you tell me, have you sent out the assessment notices yet for 2022?
Good morning. No, assessment notices are not out yet. The statutory deadline is July 1st, and we will be on time.
You're going to mail them out by July 1st? Is that going to push the digest back?
No, the digest will be fine.
Okay, because you have to allow, what, 45 days or to
the
appeal?
taxpayers are allowed 45 days in which to appeal. That's correct.
Okay, but tell them about where we're talking about technology, so, and of course, everybody doesn't have it, but the majority of the people, I think, do. But, or they have a kid in the family that knows how to do it, so.
Okay, we will be leveraging technology. We will still, taxpayers will still be able to appeal by mailing in a letter or coming in person.
Okay, so
So
go
it's
ahead and
not,
just
it's
talk
in
about it.
addition, we will be facilitating online appeals.
So we will
So-
be able to appeal our assessment notices
Online.
online with just a click of the,
A button, yes.
Yeah,
So
a
it
button.
will be available on our website, and you will see your notice online. Notices will be available online. It will be searchable online. Last year, we had the notices in one PDF file. It was not searchable. Taxpayers could not get their notices. They click, and it would be searching. This year, it will not happen.
Good.
So we want taxpayers to be able to search for their notices. They will get their notices. And it's, Q Public also provides a service where if you look at your home, it will display comparable homes. So it'll say, oh, this home sold in your community for $200,000. Your house is now valued at $200,000. It's comparable with your home. So it will make taxpayers aware of their community, what's sold in their community. It will display a map of the sales. So it provides comparables also. So it's a good system that I spoke with the chief appraiser in Coweta County. They just started using it 5 years ago. And you would think with online appeal that appeals would increase. Their appeals went down as a result of the comparable, the comps process. So they had less appeal. Their appeals went down by 30%.
I'm familiar with Q Public.
Pardon me?
I am familiar
Okay,
with
great,
Q Public.
great.
I think Carroll County had it several years.
Yes, Carol. 156 counties currently use it. Douglas is going to join those counties.
Okay, it was easy to find the property by address or last name or whatever, parcel number.
Correct, correct.
So, but it's gonna, I don't know that Carroll County had the module that allowed you to appeal. So I think this is a new module to that software.
It's been available, but a lot of persons, it has a lot of modules. It will be, homestead exemptions can be, you can apply for homestead using that. We will not do that.
We do that in the
Since
tax
the tax
office.
commissioner is already
Yeah.
doing it.
Uh-huh.
But it has different modules that can be turned on or turned off.
Okay.
So we will not have that module, but it's very robust and it's user-friendly. It's searchable, and it will bring us into the 21st.
And when will it be online?
Okay, if we get the contract signed today, the lay period is about, it's 3 weeks to a month, but I know they have been raring to go. We were just waiting on this contract. So as soon, I won't say before a month because they gave me a 30-day period, but we will get it within 30 days.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I
Thank
yield back.
Okay, thank you so much. Commissioner Guider, Commissioner Carpenter, you have the floor.
Thank you so much. No, I think she asked the question that I was going to ask. I know in technology, we appropriated it last quarter for you, so the funding is already there, and you know how I feel about this. I think this is long overdue, even since I was sitting on the Tax Assessors Board. This is one of the things that we needed long time ago. So I'm so proud of you coming aboard and pushing this. It takes different voices sometimes just to get things through. So to that end, I welcome this. I hope this board approves this. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Gardner.
I yield, Madam Chair.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you, Commissioner Carpenter. All right, that's no further questions for you.
Madam Chair, one other
Okay,
thing.
Commissioner Carpenter has.
Not for you, but is Alex here from technology?
Alice.
Is Alex
Alex
Betancourt?
Betancourt here?
He's not here today. Okay. On that note, since I'm the chair of technology, I just wanted to make to my staff up here, Lisa and Sherry, I just wanted to make you aware that the New World migration to the cloud is on this particular agenda. So I thought that would bring a smile to you all's faces, since you all are always texting and calling us to get that done. So just wanted to let you know that is a part of it. Yay, that's a plus. But again, it's a lot of the things that we needed to have done within this particular agenda. There's so much technology that can help us. We put so much on the staff, and a lot of times I don't think people understand how much work is put on the staff to do things. A lot of paperwork, as Ms. Ammons was talking about, but that's practically in every department. So I implore this board for stepping up and allowing the technology department, Alex Bentoncourt and his team, to implement some of these things that will allow not only for the citizens to take advantage and access the government services, but for our staff to be able to do a better job in delivering services to the community. So thank you so much. And with that, Madam Chair, I yield.
Okay, thank you so much, Commissioner Carter. I would certainly like to extend kudos to our executive team and our directors, which all of y'all are in the cabinet, and just so proud of you, just finding creative ways, and then also you're benchmarking, you're looking at best practices to remove the barriers of inefficiency within this county. So I'm so proud. Technology is key. It is the tiger in the group, and it moves things forward, and you all have just exceeded, I can speak for the board at this time, you've exceeded our expectations, and you will continue to do so. So thank you for thinking outside the box and just not stand within, you all are speaking my language. When I first came in the office, I was way over the top, and my vice chairman was laughing at me. He said, you saying dashboards and keep, KPIs and key performance. He said, wow. But we're here now. I'm feeling the vibe. So thank you so very much. Board of Commissioners, we have a motion and a second on the floor. We have a motion and a second, and we've had our discussions. Please prepare to cast your votes for this consent agenda. We have a 5-0 unanimous vote, and the motion carries. All right, the consent agenda has just passed, Board of Commissioners, and certainly at this time I'll yield to see if you have any announcements or certain things that are going on in your districts. Commissioner Guida, you have the floor.
Yes, ma'am. I would like to take this opportunity to read a statement from me. In December of 2020, a gross error was made by a majority of this board when they agreed to allow a newly elected official to retain all of certain fees collected in their office. At that time, this board estimated the fees would be about $20,000 a year. I shared at the time, according to my research, the fees would most likely be over $100,000, and that we could cap them by law. The fees collected and retained by that official in the year 2021 actually amounted to $139,000. The board also awarded the official a $36,000 supplement on top of the base pay that is established by state law. In 2021, this official's income totaled over $250,000. That is $250,000, but it was over that. The governor of the state of Georgia makes $175,000, just to put it in perspective. There is most likely no other county who pays both supplement and fees. Since December of 2020, I have attempted in numerous conversations and in executive sessions to urge the other commissioners to discuss this issue and find a solution to correct it. I was accused of playing politics, of being racist, but most of all, I was just put off or dismissed, and more recently being told to be patient after 7 months of being patient. Needless to say, the longer this is prolonged, the worse it will get. I was always taught the mistakes needed to be made right. This board needs to be held accountable for this. It was an error. Errors need to be corrected. Another commissioner and I have stated publicly and in writing that we would address this once the 2021 books were closed. That has not been done. I ask the citizens to hold us accountable. With that, I yield back.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Guider, for your statement. Okay, any other announcements, board?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Commissioner can she go first?
Go ahead, Commissioner Robinson.
Yeah,
Okay,
let me,
Commissioner Robinson,
no,
Vice Chair.
please, I'll be very brief. You know, as an elected official, I mean, I'm not gonna repeal myself in my own decision. I was awake in what I did. Very clear. We've got 4 constitutional officers: the sheriff, Superior Court clerk, tax commissioner, and the probate. All get fees. All of them. So we're gonna be, we talked about selective and exclusionary recently. Right? Right? We get convenient. Be consistent. I mean, the tax commissioner is a very high-paid person. Now, I've only been in office 4 terms. I mean, some people been here for 10 and 0, and I love it. What, 7 as tax commissioner? And 3 as commissioner. Again, I commend, that's a run. That's an old school run, you know, I'm not a lifer, so I respect that. However, keep it in perspective. We talked about data, right? And so we had false data with some of the assertions against the coroner using information out of the probate's office. Now that we're in there and we get full visibility, I'm sitting here with 14, 15, 16, 17. I'm like, look at this. Oh, y'all told us that he was only making this. Well, where's the difference? You probably won't want to go here because we're going to go long. You probably don't want to go here because it's going to unveil the inconsistency between the administrations. And this, I mean, if you go here, we'll uncover everybody. And y'all know I'll go long. It goes both ways. This data, I'm looking at it and I'm stunned. I'm like, where the money? It ain't consistent. Oh, you didn't even report everything. Oh boy, you were reporting low to saying that you took half, but then what? You want to get righteous. You want to be careful. Be careful. Be careful. Look, that's what I say. Be careful what you ask for. We'll give it to you. And it's going to uncover everybody. Now, I'm okay. Look, I'm not going anywhere. You can't make me do anything in this position. None of us can. We can't make each other. It doesn't work that way. I'm just saying. I appreciate the statement. That's all I'm going to say about this. Madam Chair, you.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Carthen, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd just like to invite the public to my District 3 Town Hall on Thursday, June 23rd at the Douglas County Library. Even if you're not in District 3, I'd love for you to come out. There are a lot of decisions that this board will be making in the next 90 days, including what projects we put before you in a possible SPLOS if that is approved in November. So I really do want to hear your input. I want to hear what you think should go on in District 3 and across the county. When I ran for this position, I ran on 3 things. One of them was a library, sidewalks, and of course widening Chapel Hill Road. Well, I've had many discussions with staff in terms of those 3 items. Those are costly items, and we need all of you in the community. If these are items that you really want to see pushed forward, you want to see them come to fruition, we got to have your input. So again, I implore you to come out on Thursday, June 23rd at the Douglas County Library on Selman Drive at 6:30. Don't just meet me there, beat me there with your ideas, your thoughts. With that, Madam Chair, I yield.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Carpenter. Any other announcements? If not, our Director of Communications, Rick Martin, would you just read these 2, and then we'll go into recess. Thank you.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Board of Commissioners, Deputy County Administrator Perry, and staff, Attorney Coleman. Remaining announcements that I have, Madam Chair,
It's just
and the
one.
Board of Commissioners include the Douglas County commemorative Juneteenth reception that the public is invited to attend. It's happening on Thursday, June 16th, right here at the Douglas County Courthouse from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. The public is invited to email Wendy Caudle. Email address is kcaudle, C-A-U-D-L-E, @douglascountyga.gov for further information. And I yield back to you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Yeah, that concludes our, okay, thank you so much. Board of Commissioners, that concludes our announcement. Certainly, if there are no further, if there's no further discussion at this time, we will recess Board of Commissioners until 6 p.m. This evening for the Joint Planning and Zoning BOC meeting. And at this time, we are in recess, and I'll see you at 6. Thank you.